What's going on, guys? Naz here on the Spooling Up channel. Now, I'm currently sat in the MK4 Golf GTI. Reason being, I've had a really annoying knocking noise coming from the back for a little while now. I was blaming the false floor initially, so what I did was I sound deadened the bottom of it and all that kind of stuff. I thought it might have been bouncing a little bit on the rear floor there. Turns out it wasn't that, so I removed everything from the back. Literally, I even took the panel off the inside of the boot, and the noise was still there, which sort of made me a little bit worried because I didn't want it to be anything suspension-wise. I didn't want to have to start taking the wheels off and messing around with loads of things there. But turns out, after a little bit of a closer inspection, I think the shock absorbers, the bushes right at the bottom, are actually gone. Now, I have got Raceland coilovers on this car, which I installed about 4 years ago. They have a lifetime warranty. Long story short, I contacted them, and within a week, I had a new set of shock absorbers sent here. So shout outs to them for being really good and efficient. I just sent them a little video. They had a look at it. They said, yep, send you new shocks out. They're here now. Time to get them on the car. I want to kind of show you guys what kind of noise I had as well. So I'm going to try and drive the car just a small bit just to see if the camera picks up the noise. Right, so as you can see, I stripped a lot of stuff out. I had the spare wheel out at one point, but quickly realised it wasn't that. Then I started thinking, oh, is it behind the interior panels at the back from where I did the speaker upgrade? Have I left something loose? But no, pretty sure it's the shock. So let me just start the car up and go for a tiny drive, see if we can hear anything. On a cold start, this car's really noisy, so probably going to have to leave it warming up for a little bit just before we go for a drive. Otherwise you won't hear a thing. But literally, me just reversing up and down this driveway, I could hear like the tiny little knocks. So we'll give it a minute and I'll see if we can hear it. Right, let's see if we can hear anything. Not sure if any of that's going to come out clear, but we'll see. To me, I can hear it quite loud, but if I try and go back coasting, or even if I kill the engine, it's quite noisy. Right guys, so I've got my trusty jack holding the car up. Just going to show you now where I think the problem's lying. There's quite a lot of play in the bush down the bottom. So one side's worse than the other. I can't remember which one, but there's a lot of movement there. Standard stuff, bit of WD, let that set in for a minute and then we'll go ahead and crack it off. I'm pretty sure it's a 16mm, I may be wrong. Yeah, it's a 16. So I'm going to use my ratchet spanner on this side and use my socket set and ratchet on the other side. And I'm going to undo this, but I'm just going to put something underneath here just so that when I undo it I can let it down slowly and controlled rather than this sort of springing down. Right, so I managed to remove the nut and bolt. I've got my jack taking a little bit of the weight off the axle. I just had to pump the jack up a little bit just to relieve the tension off the bolt. And then now what I'm going to do is I'll be able to undo my two, I believe they're also 16mm up at the top there, just with a ratchet and a good extension, and then I should be able to get the shock absorber off completely. Okay, so shock's now been removed. Look at this. I think that confirms my suspicion really. Right, so it's time to strip down and get the whole mount, bump stop, everything off this old shock. 17mm at the top. I've got an impact driver. I'm going to buzz it off, slot everything off here and put it straight onto the new one. Right, guys, let's quickly grab one of these. Ready to go. So I've just done a quick comparison to make sure that the part numbers are the same and that they look identical, which they do. Here's the old bump stop and mount. I'm going to be putting that onto the new shock with the new nylock that came with it. So I'm going to go ahead and build that up now. This old one, of course, is going to go in the bin. Cap's going to go back on the top, and then the new shock absorber is going to be done on this side. Right, so old, new, it's all built up and ready to go back on, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this back on the car. I gave it a quick clean so it all looks nice and good. Bin, back on. I'll go and do the other side. I'm not going to show you me stripping down the whole of the other side, I'll just show you how bad the shock is. But for now, I'm going to throw this back on, get this side of the car back down, and then we'll go for a test drive. Okay, here she is in all of her glory, all fitted and ready to go. Hopefully last longer than the other ones. But yeah, we're in on this side, so gonna go ahead, put this side down and then quickly bang out the other side. Right, so here we go, other side stripped, exactly the same thing. Bush has completely come out, so they're definitely shot. Time to just swap this one over, go for a quick test drive. Hopefully everything's all good. Right, let's go for it. Nice and easy. Ready to go. Luckily there's an easy way to try and get these in. If you just squash it, it will fit in there nicely. Right, so got the shocks changed now. I'm just gonna go back over the same patch of sort of like rough ground, see if there's any difference in noise. I can't hear anything. The knocking's gone. So there we go. Knocking's definitely gone. You can just hear a few stones and that flicking up because I've got no floor down, that's all. So I might just go for a quick test drive, see if the car feels any different. It should do, and then I'll come back. I could already tell it's so much better, but because by now I'd be hearing little knocks and bangs just over the tiniest little uneven pieces of the road. So I don't even need to go for a full test drive, but may as well just go for a quick blitz up the road. Couple of speed bumps like now. We're all good. Yeah, driving quite nicely, to be honest with you. Hopefully in a minute we'll be able to hit like a little strip of road where I can give the car a bit of a run. But I live near a school as well, and it just causes all these kind of problems. There's quite a lot of traffic restrictions in London at the moment, so it's a little bit difficult. But I can tell you now already that this car feels a lot tighter now that those shock absorbers are changed. When I'm going over the speed bumps, it is a lot better. Now don't forget, the ride wasn't bouncy because the shock absorbers themselves weren't shot. It was just the bushes, so you'd get a little bit of a knock and it would just feel like a little bit detached, if you know what I mean. So thank God that's changed now. We can get things back on the road. A few more things to come for this car as well, but just got to be patient. But but it's still running well since it's been mapped as well. Still goes pretty good, so I'm definitely happy with it. Gonna do my front anti-roll bar soon, and I've also bought a rear one. Knock's gone. Yeah, so much better, so much better. I can just tell from driving it, so I'm really happy with that. Let's go for a quick blitz. No pops and bangs near the dogs or elderly people. Don't want to be giving people a fright. But yeah, she still goes well, man. Unfortunately, round here it's so difficult to like actually put your foot down because there's a lot of bumps, there's a lot of traffic, and there aren't many open roads. But I can tell one thing for sure: when I park the car back up tonight, I'll be happy that I've solved the issues. So that's all good. I might just go on the main road for one little pull. That's what I'm saying, when you go for a drive in a car like this, you can't just stop. You need to sort of, like, I could have just rolled it up and down that bit of uneven ground, but I'm still driving it because it's so enjoyable to get out in when I get a chance. But we're gonna hit the big traffic in a minute as well. I'm gonna call it a day. When I get a chance, I will do like a POV drive in the car. I'll try to get some cool shots of me giving it a blast as well. But for now, guys, yeah, that's the shock absorber video. Rear shocks changed on the Mark 4 Golf GTI. Nice and easy. You don't even need that many tools. I would recommend having an impact driver when you want to work. It just makes things so much quicker. But yeah, that's done, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Good to see those of you that have come back and stuck around to see more content. And I'll catch you on the next one.